You're back to another episode of The Tea with Jamie-Lee. It is the roundup. It is the... What?
Back to another episode.
You're so annoying.
Do your intro.
You're so annoying. I don't know what energy you came with today, but I'm really just trying. I was going to do such a beautiful
Back
intro.
to another episode.
Back with Lunga Singama, everybody. He's back here to make sure that we round up all of the hot news that's been happening on social media.
I'm annoyed that you didn't come to see to I Heart Sundays in the city.
Is this how we're going to start the podcast?
You didn't come through to support me.
It's not that I didn't come to support you.
You went to Paul instead.
I went to Paul to see friends.
What's more important, Paul or me?
My son was with me, Lunga.
Yo, you gotta throw the sun in there.
But he was with me.
Gotta throw the sun in there.
Would you want me to show up for you when I was so exhausted and I couldn't really show up for you yesterday? Would you want me to come with that energy around you?
Yeah, at least I see you in the crowd.
I could have video called you.
You know,
but I knew that
I wanted to see you there. You know,
but you had all the ladies.
Yo, like last night was a movie. You know, like I looked this morning on my phone. I see like pictures of like people I don't know. No, you know, like my phone was just doing the rounds. You know, like people were just take selfies and like, what are you? You know what I mean? What are you doing?
Is that your portfolio now? You're just out here on the streets giving people your phone to take selfies with.
The one lady was backing it up on me. You know?
And then you won.
Just backing it up, you know?
And what did you do? Just like...
No, I let her do what she needs to do.
You need to have an innocent pose. Like just...
innocent pose, like I'm not touching.
I'm not touching anything. I
felt the urge to touch, you know? Because it was like the kind of like voluptuousness that I like, you know? She's out there backing it up on me.
You are messy. You're actually just so messy.
Why wasn't I?
And on the streets.
I'm
now
honest.
I'm so glad that people can actually see who's on the streets. You are on the streets.
I'm not on the streets.
Getting someone to back it up.
No, I'm not on the streets. The streets come to me.
Oh,
the streets
really?
come to me. Like Lunga's, like just be doing Lunga, you know, and the streets just come. You know what I mean? And so sometimes you gotta allow the streets to do what the streets want to do.
You just need to make sure that you're not going to be the person in another follow-up podcast being like, who the F did I actually date? This is Lunga Singama. That's the tea. Hey, let's unpack it. Have you watched Reesa Teesa?
I can't watch 50 episodes of like this thing. I know that during COVID, she was with this guy who wasn't himself. He was lying. His name is Legion. And I don't know what else. What else happened?
The myth, the Legion. That's his name, right? She's a 41-year-old beautiful woman from Atlanta. And
Reesa
Teesa. I almost want to say Reesa Teesa, but it's Reesa Teesa.
Yeah.
She has gone completely viral.
Viral, yeah.
So she was a normal, just wanted to share a story. And I think her story was more of one where she wanted to tell people about red flags that you need to look out for in a relationship. In a relationship, things that she wasn't aware of. And there's been so many like little things that she said now during the recap. Yes, I was one of the people that watched all 50 episodes.
You watched all 50 episodes?
I have time, okay?
Nah, man, that woman, like, she talks so slow.
No, here is the thing you need to do. Go onto TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And then watch playback.
1.5.
No, 2.
2.
2. Okay. And then it
I didn't even know that TikTok had that feature.
No, you can do it. Go into TikTok right now. If you're one of the people that complains about the fact that she speaks so slow and she does detail everything.
Also, it's 50 episodes.
It's 50.
Come on.
I literally had nothing else to watch that time, so I was watching it. And
So whose side are you on?
I'm on her side, though. That man is a liar.
He's a liar.
He is a liar. But you know what she said in the very beginning that really touched me was, Jamie, here's the thing. I feel like she was speaking to myself. She didn't say Jamie, right? But she said almost like, stop chasing. Because she was on the verge of, getting older. She had idolized what her dream life would look like. At the age of 40, she wanted to have kids. She wanted a husband. She wanted this man to mock her with the wigs, and she wanted to have this play fight and this play energy, and that's all the things that she had envisioned for her life, right? So here comes along a person that ticks a few of these boxes, and she already almost settles with this man because he is pursuing her or showing her this attention. He was not a VP of a company.
That's all you need. You gotta show them attention.
But obviously in her case, it backfired because he was lying to her. Imagine every single day you would wake up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And be on a call and be like, hey, babe, my brother's calling and he's saying, you're looking so cute. Like, you must have a good day. There was no one on
the other side.
To be that level of Delulu, man.
Ooh. Man is a con man, yeah?
He, on
another level.
Episode 50, I actually broke down with her. I was crying just because she has been living a lie, and she almost has to now unheal and unlearn all of these things that this man told her. And I think I watched a recent episode.
But my question is, how many red flags are you supposed to see as a person before you say, you know what, this shouldn't have reached 50 episodes? On episode 2 or 3 or 4, why are you not jumping ship?
But that's what she says. She says like she was falling in love with the idea of being in love versus what this really was and what this is. And this was a man that was just a leech. He was lying to her. He was not who he said he was, and he's not who he said he is.
So when was the light bulb moment?
She knew, but she almost wanted to believe that it couldn't be. Like, she thought it was too good to be true, and he was showing her the red flags, and she's like, that's a... Because women do this. Yeah. We see the red flag, and we're like, we colorblind,
I can fix him.
I'm Bob the Builder. I will fix him, and I will see... and I will see where this man's eventually going to be and how I'm going to build him up, and then... Yeah. That is wild though.
So do you think the problem was that like she was getting old and she felt like maybe she's going to be alone for the rest of her life, and so she was settling for this guy even though she saw the red flags, but like she was like, you know what I mean, like these are the twilight years of my life. I mean, she's 41, for crying out loud. I don't know why you're settling for that, but like, do you think like she was at a stage where she was like, I need to do it now? Because there's that pressure sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, as you grow old, you gotta tick these boxes. If I'm not married by 25, if I don't have kids by 35, if I don't have a car by 22, or all of these boxes, do you think she was just trying to tick a box and looking away at the red flags, even though she saw them at episode 2?
I definitely think so. I think that she's idolized, and she has the ideal look of how her family life must look, her life, her relationship. She also mentions that she is a Christian, and she again prayed for her husband. So without, again, and that was something she mentioned quite like early on, she has a great relationship with God and with her creator, and so she had always prayed for a man, right? And then God sends you this man, but she again didn't pray for confirmation.
Is his real name Legion?
I don't know. No, I don't think so, because she says like allegedly his name is Legion, or that's the name that she called him. People would know him by this name, but I don't know if that is his real name. But wild, eh? And now he's trying to do podcasts as well and tell his side of the story. And people's like, sir,
my guy is doubling. He's doubling down.
What are you doing? Anyway, that was the tea on that. Do and go and watch it out. It is Reesa Teesa on TikTok.
50 episodes. Make sure that you put it on times 2 when you watch it.
She
speaks very slow.
She sat down with Gail King as well recently to also talk about the trauma
so
behind
it. So now she's branding.
She's branding. Like I think Netflix is going to definitely come knocking on the door. If Tyler Perry doesn't make a movie, a Reesa Teesa movie, I just think that she's going to be doing great things. But also, I love that a lot of women are taking notes and saying, you know what, this is my story. This is what I had to go through to get on the other side. But also, women are now being a bit more aware. Like, there are still some crazy men out there. You don't have to settle, and people's also just rooting for her, saying, we hope that in the next couple of years we actually see your life unfold.
I mean, like this whole situation like sort of hits home, because like in Cape Town there was a similar situation, of like people could say that the woman in this particular situation, she doesn't see what the outside world is seeing. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is absolutely bonkers. This guy is absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? But she's in this situation, and it looks as like she's being forced to be in the situation. You know, that's another level of this particular situation. And I just hope that she also, gets to a point where she.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's just so scary.
She's free.
Especially, it's so scary because you just don't know who you are marrying. Like, at what point do you show your true self? In a marriage, in a relationship?
Once you got him!
Now you're like, yo, this is who I am. But you just don't know.
Right now, like in the courting stages, I'm like the nicest person ever. You know what I mean? Yeah, but once I got you,
then you show the red flags.
You see the true colors. Lunga doesn't come home until 1 a.m. You're wondering where I am.
Out in the club, getting backed up there by Miss Mims.
I'm working.
Is that what
I'm doing? I'm
that's
working.
That's what they call it these days.
I'm working. I'm working, and she was working it on me.
I can't deal with you. Another little story that might have come across you for you, Paige, or not even a story, but a person that has been making headlines. Half South African, half German. She's 22 years old. She is a content creator. She's a model. She's a mom. She is amazing. I love her. I don't know why the girlies are upset with her. She is living her life. Do you know this girl? Her name is Nara Smith.
Yeah.
Do you know Nara?
I do know her.
What do you know about her?
I've seen her on TikTok. She's a Mormon.
A Mormon, yes, she is.
And
I thought you said she's a moment. Yes, she's the moment.
She's a Mormon.
Mormon?
Yeah. And she makes food from scratch. She was making cheese from scratch the other day. I saw a video. But she takes care of her husband. She takes care of her kids. And a lot of the people that I've seen online, I think their beef is with her being so submissive to
her husband.
This man.
Lucky.
Yeah. I think. Do you think that's the problem? What's the problem? Because here's a woman who is, her principles are that as a woman she first of all, in the Mormon faith, she's supposed to do what she's doing. She's supposed to take care of the family. She's supposed to be the pillar. The man is supposed to provide all of those things. Much like how we all grew up. You know what I mean? The man goes to hunt. You know what I mean? You're at home and preparing the home. You know what I mean? So that's what she's doing. And she's showcasing it on the internet. And I feel like maybe there's a group of women who say in 2024 it shouldn't be like that. In 2024, it feels weird to see somebody who's totally devoted to their husband, who's totally at the beck and call of their husband,
who's submissive
to their husband, submissive to their partner. What do you think about that?
I think each to their own. If it makes her happy, and like if she was problematic and she was out there and saying, that she's being held against her will, and she's doing this because she says that food is her love language. She's just 22 years old. She is making mad money right now. She's providing for a family. She is being able to do it in the most elegant way possible. And I'm just like, I'm not mad. If I had time to make peanut butter and bread from scratch, I would do that. If I could spend more time with my family and do these things and get paid and show my fashion, why are we mad?
So if let's say me and you were married and I was a rich man, obscenely rich, and I said to you, Jamie, give up your drive to 3 to 6 gig, all of your stuff that you are doing, and take care of our kids at home, and I'll work for the both of us. Would you be accepting to that?
If you're telling me, no. But if you're asking me, then it might be a different conversation.
No, I'm not telling you. I'm half telling you and asking you.
You see, it's a form of communication. If we are having this conversation where we say, listen, where do you see yourself? If I do not see myself in a job, but
I'm making enough money for the both of us.
I don't care, Boo Boo Kitty. Women need to have their own money. They need to have because these brothers, if Legion
aren't you
doesn't have
old
anything
school like that?
I'm old school with a little bit of new school, okay? But I do understand that I also just don't feel like
you
I
can't be
ever want to
straddling
be
both
too
worlds.
dependent.
You
No,
can't be
I don't
straddling both
I don't want
worlds.
to be that financially dependent on my man's. Like, I need to make my own bag. You make your own bag. And if we ever reach an agreement or a decision where we say, you know what, I feel like it's time for me to step away from work and really invest and put my full attention on the kids and the home, by all means, then that's a different conversation. But when you say you need to, you have to, bruh.
So I need to ask you, I need to be submissive to your needs.
No, you don't have to. It's about communication. It's about healthy communication. Say, babe, listen, I got us. I got us. I'm laughing.
So you would consider it. You'd stay at home and take care of the kids if the husband is making enough money to take care of you and your kids.
If I don't lose myself in the process of it, and I'm still doing something on the side, I would. I definitely would.
Okay. You mean like taking care of the kids?
Taking care of the kids. I do the school runs. I'm packing, because depending on his level of wealth, hey,
isn't that?
I have a nanny. I have a
No. That's not what this is about. This is about you being hands-on and homeschooling your kids. You know what I mean? And being hands-on and making food for the family and making sure that the home is taken care of. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you living your soft life. You being like a Gucci in the middle of the day. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like traditionally how our mothers, grew up, like how their marriages used to look like. Would you, in 2024, Jamie-Lee Domberg, be accepting of a situation like that?
Me personally, I don't think I have what it takes to do that. Maybe in a different season of my life, I would be, I would. I would be submissive, and I would, want to play that role, or, really invest in that role. I just don't think that's for me. A lot of women can do it, and you should want to do it, because that's what choice is about. Like, I'm choosing to do this, not because my husband told me to do it. He might have put it out there and asked me about it, but ultimately it's about choice and what makes you happy. And I think Nara Smith is happy. She must be happy. I mean, she's getting to do what she loves. She gets to spend time with her kids and her family. And I mean, we're just seeing snippets online of her real life. But to be able to take us on this, I think, journey with her into motherhood, and how she's just cool, man. I think she's super cool.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate because I have to push back on.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? So, I like in 2024, like there's a whole lot of like there's so much focus on independence. Or even if we're in a relationship, we must be independent of each other. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, you can have your own friends and whatnot, but at the same time, people turn around and they want to look at your phone. You know what I mean? Like, if we're independent, then why do you want to go through like my phone? You know what I mean? Like, people want independence only when it suits their needs or the things that they want to get away with.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting look at it. So here's my question to you. Roles being reversed, would you want your wife or your future partner to do that? To be a Nara Smith, where she does the cooking, she looks after the kids, she invests in, she's a stay-at-home mom. She still does have a career, by the way, okay? Yeah. So let's not take away anything from her. Sure. She's still a model. She's still doing the content creation now, so she's getting paid. But if that aside, would that type of women suit you or suit your needs, or is that something you've ever envisioned, to have someone like a stay-at-home wife that does and has her role in the house?
No, I mean, like, I'd live it up to her. You know what I mean? If I'm making enough money for the both of us, if my wife said to me that she'd like to stay at home and take care of the kids, I'd say that's fine. You know what I mean? If she wants to do that, then I'd leave it up to her.
Okay. And she said no?
But I can't force her.
And she said no? You'd be okay and happy with...
I'm okay with that. Like, she can go and work, because she's got her own dreams, right? She's got her own ambitions and the things that she wants to do. You know, I can't stand in the way of that, because if I stand in the way of that, then there's resentment. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I don't want that in the home now, do I? I want harmony in the home. You know. I want harmony in the home. But if we're in a situation where I feel I can provide for all of us, you know what I mean? You know, because as a man, I feel like I have to provide for my family. But people say that that's old school.
It's not. Again,
you know what I mean? Like I feel like I have to provide. I feel like I have to provide for my mother. I feel like I have to do that. You know what I mean? So she birthed me, and now she's at a stage in her life where she can't, you know, she is retired, so I have to provide for her. I feel like that's my duty. I feel like with the woman that I'm with as well, that should be my duty to do that. You know, but I don't think that's popular these days, because like it's half and half.
I just think people are evolving. People are changing.
People are evolving.
So
I guess I'm being left behind. I'm too old school.
No, you're not. You're going to find a person that understands that and also carries the same values. But again, like I said, people are wanting to do more the half and half route. Whatever works for you, figure that out, because it might get messy. And sometimes that's also the crazy part, is like you'll be with someone for a long time, and then once things are over, it gets messy, and then you start blasting each other on social media. Like Black Coffee and his gorgeous wife or ex-wife, and they have kids together.
That's a good segue, by the way.
Thank you. But just looking at that, I think to myself, at what point do you get to this point where you start blasting your ex on social media, or you start blasting, regardless, when there are kids involved? And this is my take with every single thing, whatever scandal that happens on social media, when it involves kids. That stuff, we don't need to know about that. I mean, this entire episode is about tea that happens on social media. I don't need to know what's happening in your dating life, in your nitty-gritty of why you guys did that. And I get it. This is sensationalism. This is what people feed off. But when there are kids involved, that stuff needs to be off the media, because everyone has an opinion, and that is your wife, dog. That is like
that's your ex-wife.
That is your ex-wife. But at one point,
but your ex-wife is also scorned. You know what I mean? Like, she feels like.
So unpack that for me, because I saw a little
there's
bit
scorched earth type vibes there. You know what I mean? Because Black Coffee became like this, like very successful, like international DJ, and he's making like tons and tons and tons of money. There was at one time where Antle said on social media that she was sitting in her house. I don't know where her house is, but she was sitting in the dark. She couldn't even. There was no electricity, and yet Black Coffee is gallivanting across the world, you know, having a great time. Now, Black Coffee went on social media and debunked all of that. You know what I mean? So it seems as if, like, from both sides, they say spiteful things to hurt each other, even after the marriage is done. So I don't understand why. There seems to be like a war that's going on way after the marriage has broken. You know, so I don't understand why is that, because Black Coffee recently did another interview.
This brother said, you know, I'm keeping my private life private, and then we've been doing like this is his second or third podcast. I saw the one with Mac G, and then now he's doing another one.
He was on Kaya FM just recently, and he was talking about like how he bought a car for his ex-wife. And it wasn't a run-of-the-mill car. It was a very expensive car. And he felt that his wife didn't show enough appreciation.
Were they married at this point?
Yeah, they were married, yeah. His wife didn't show enough appreciation. If I buy you a Rolls Royce, you better kiss the ground that I walk on. That was his thinking at the time, he says. But now, as he's grown as a man, he realizes that was more about him than...
about her.
Yeah, than it was about the situation. You know what I mean? But also, I don't know why he keeps talking about his ex-wife. Also, I don't know why his ex-wife keeps talking about him.
I think maybe they realize that there's a buzz around that, and so whenever they mention something, all the traction, all the engagement.
I think it's just about trending and clout.
I think it's about that, because, you know, people are invested in their personal lives. I mean, before this entire thing blew out, I knew Black Coffee as what he was, an artist. He was incredible. It's what he
still is incredible at what he does.
He still is. But I almost have this like, yo, I didn't need to know that. And if you're buying something for your wife, and she doesn't say thank you, deal with that in the bedroom. Like, say, yo, why didn't you say thank you? Boo, 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 boo. Do something about it. But here you are going on social. Why do we need to know?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the world of social media. Like, everybody has a microphone, everybody has a phone. You know what I mean? Like, they can broadcast their lives, and they feel that we need to know about their every living and waking hour. You know what I mean? Of what they are doing. You know, so these are the times that we live in. I guess we got to deal with that. You know, because I think like fame is a drug. You know what I mean? Like. The dopamine hit that you get, like, from like likes and and being out, you know what I mean, like being out in the public eye and people talking about
and being relevant.
And being relevant. I think
that's the drug. It's trying to stay relevant and make sure that people's always talking about you. There's constant engagement.
That's currency. That is currency.
People don't understand that. Is like, even with things that trend on social media, people sometimes often get paid. The bigger, the messier your story is.
When are you gonna have a messy scandal?
No, I rebuke that.
You need a messy scandal.
Have you ever had a messy scandal? You're going to have a messy scandal after last night. They're gonna be like, Lunga Singama.
I will never have a messy scandal. No, I will never have a messy scandal. I lead my life in a very pure way. Like. Why are you laughing?
Okay, if you say so.
Everything that I do, there's always consent. With what
for
I
sure.
do.
That out.
There's always consent. You know what I mean? I make sure that, like, everyone who's in that particular situation or in that relationship that I'm having at that particular time, they know that this is what it is, so that it doesn't come back down the line and people say that Lunga said X and Y. Like, if I'm not looking for a relationship, I make it known, like, from the get-go. Listen, Boo Boo Kitty.
You can't use my line on me.
I'm like, listen, Boo Boo Kitty. You're cute and all. You know what I mean? But this is like, this is what it is.
As long as you're honest.
This is a hit and run.
Now people's going to watch us and be like, who did Lunga hit and run? Now we know. At least you're honest, and I'm so glad that you are finally acknowledging that.
Put your cards on the table. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to lie to people.
Why are you single?
Why am I single?
Why do you not want to be in a relationship right now?
What do you mean? Like, I don't just like you. I don't just like wake up and like. There are no prospects. That's why. You know what I mean? There are no prospects, so I won't force a situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If there's nothing, there are no prospects in my life, there's no one that I see a future with, I'm not going to force that. Plus, my mother says that I must pray for a wife.
I think you should.
And so I go to church now. You know what I mean? I go to church, like there's lots of ladies there. Like I'll pray. And if one of them is meant to be my wife, then they'll be my wife. I can't be desperate about the situation. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen, but I'll have to pray about it. No more hit and runs.
You heard it here first. No more hit and runs for Lunga Singama. This is such a huge shift for you, because last year you're not having the same tone. Like you were not intentional about the person that you want to marry, or even thinking of settling down or finding a partner. I'm not saying that's where you're at right now, but even the fact that you're going to church and praying about it. I asked Michaela Mateus this last week about a list, right?
Yeah.
Because women, we have a checklist, and it's not a list. Sometimes someone also reached out and said, Jamie, I had a list, but my partner now is the completely opposite of that list. Mm-hmm. But there must be a few things where you say, this is the type of woman that I want, this is who I kind of want, or few characteristics.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
She must be a looker.
As in your first thing. Your first thing. She must be a looker.
I mean, like, I like beautiful women.
What happened to the soul?
I like beautiful women.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So beautiful woman.
A beautiful woman. But more above that, she must be a God-fearing woman, And she must want maybe 1 or 2 kids, because I want maybe like 1 or 2 kids in the future. But also, like, the basis of our relationship should be one of friendship, one of mutual respect, one where we respect each other, one where we are open with each other about what we want out of the relationship, what we want out of life, what we want out of the future. So all of those things must align, and if 1 or 2 things don't align, that's not a deal breaker.
Okay.
Because like you can't find the perfect human being. You know what I mean? But you work on those 1 or 2 things that don't align, And if I ask myself, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, can I live with this? Then, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I go ahead. Like, do I see a future? Do I see a life with this particular person? Then I go for it. If like maybe like 75% of my list is fulfilled, then I go for that. Because you can't find a perfect human being. That'd be asking too much.
Could her not wanting kids be a deal breaker?
Her not wanting kids.
So women, like, I don't want more kids.
No, then we're not getting married, me and you.
I knew that from the get go when you said kids. I was like, it's a wrap.
We don't get married, me and you.
You haven't even loboled me yet, so
Yeah,
besides that.
We're not getting married.
But would that be a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Or would you date someone with a kid? Have you ever dated someone with a kid?
Yeah, I have. Like,
And?
there's not.
Was it a different dynamic?
It's not. It feels like you're asking about yourself.
No,
What is this?
I'm just asking. I'm asking.
like-
Because women,
like you-
this is your portfolio now. This is your dating portfolio now. People's going to watch and be like, Lunga Singama, what does he want in a woman? So I'm just helping you out here.
I don't mind dating like a woman who has a child.
Okay.
That's not a problem with me, because people have a past. I have a past. You never know. Maybe I got 3 kids. You don't know about.
I can't wait to see you. I really can't wait to see you in that season of your life, being married, having little lungas running around.
Yeah.
They're going to be.
They'll be very drippy, first of all.
I was going to say the best dressed kids after Luca in Cape Town. That's my son in Cape Town. But I can't wait to see that. And just to see your wife pregnant. A lot of people are popping up with pregnancy announcement right now. We have.
You'll look good pregnant.
I will look good pregnant, or I did.
You will.
Ain't nobody seeing that again in this lifetime. I don't think I want more
I'll
kids.
convince you.
I don't want more kids. I told you this. We've had this conversation
Yeah.
so many times. Maybe in my other life,
yeah.
in my next life, I'd have more kids. I'm content.
Because so 1 is enough, yeah? Okay.
Because I must take care of the kids. Like, people's like, make more kids. And then who has to look after the kids afterwards? I do. Anyway, I was talking about people
So you
being
don't want to be a
pregnant.
Xhosa queen, yeah?
I'm a colored queen.
You don't want to be a Xhosa queen?
I'm a colored queen. Leave me. Leave me alone, sir. Sophia Richie announced her pregnancy recently. She just got married, of course. We also saw Vanessa Hudgens. I feel like
Vanessa Hudgens, is she still even around?
high school, right?
Yeah.
I was like, this is a blast from the past. High School Musical star.
She
now
does
coming back.
she does like those rom-coms sometimes.
She comes back for the 1 or 2, but
Yeah.
she's pregnant as well. Remember the presenter on YoTV,
Kanye from YoTV.
back in the day, she was
You
a
were watching a
presenter.
different YoTV than I am.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember Carly Fields and all of those
No,
people.
she was in that era, but
Yeah.
just
Much
after, she
later.
also just announced that she is pregnant.
Okay.
So I love that people are
People
evolving.
people are in their fruitful season.
And multiply. You said you want 2, right?
Yeah, just 2 is enough. 2 is enough for me. Yeah, I think you can handle it. You have all the attributes.
To what?
Imagine, you and my kids would look like really beautiful.
They
first
would
of all.
be.
Yeah.
They would be.
It'd like be such a nice mix. Yeah.
You can't afford me
Yeah.
yet.
I can. Wow!
I'm high maintenance.
Wow!
I'm so high maintenance.
maintenance.
I just feel like I'm high maintenance.
Yeah, I didn't even need you to tell me that for me to know.
Can you handle all of this? Can you handle all of this? One day when you can, hit me up.
One day when I can. Yo, I don't know.
You're a client. Anything else happening on your For You page? Anything else that
On my
you...
For You page.
The Oscars.
Oh, the Oscars happened last night. Yeah.
It happened last night.
Yeah. I don't think people care about who won. You know, like they just care about the spectacle most of the time. Like the question was, why is John Cena on stage naked? That's the question that a lot of people were asking this morning. A lot of people say that it's some kind of humiliation ritual. You know, like the things that go on in Hollywood. You know, I don't know why John Cena was there naked on stage.
Because you can't see him. Dun, 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 dun. No, but it's it's so annoying to me how he gets away with this. A couple of years ago, remember when Janet Jackson had a bit of a nip slip or wardrobe malfunction? People crucified her, and now this man is literally going on with his V lines and everything. I'm just like,
on stage.
This makes no sense. Why?
Kids are watching.
Kids are watching.
Yeah.
I don't get the comedy in it.
I don't.
Maybe
get
I'm
it
sensitive.
either.
Maybe I'm a prude. But
Listen, they say it's like a humiliation ritual. That's what they say. You know, John Cena is not a wrestler anymore. He's in Hollywood. You know?
And you also became very irrelevant once he lost his. He dated one of those wrestling girls, and he called off the wedding or didn't want to get married, and she moved on. She got married and had a kid, and then people were just like, oh, John Cena, who? He didn't have a storyline anymore. So I guess that's...
I mean, he's been making like some B movies in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like playing an action man.
Exactly. So I think he's just trying to come up again, and this was the only way how. Because remember last year, the last Oscars, we had the Will Smith drama and the slap. So I feel like they need
drama.
to top that up. Because that was trending for, I mean, how many weeks? That would have probably been part of
I think the problem is us. The fact that we talk about it. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we give it legs. You know, I think like that's part of the problem. You know what I mean? They know that like if they put John Cena naked on stage, or if Will Smith slaps Chris Rock,
it's gonna get a buzz.
That's gonna get the buzz. It's going to be like on the tea with Jamie.
Listen,
you know,
we are going to unpack more of the Oscars next week. But just quickly, off the top of your head, did you see anyone that kind of stole the night? Kind of had a fashion moment, something that's worth remembering.
Really. I didn't even look at the looks.
You haven't checked out the looks yet?
I didn't check out the looks.
Okay, so you'll have to stay tuned
that one
to the
look,
podcast.
The John
Cena. That was the only thing that you saw. Do you know Monet? She's one of the biggest content creators. She's like a girl's girl. Monet.
Who's that?
Just check her out on, I think, Monet Michaels. Okay. Monet McMichael. I want to say Monet Michaels.
She's South African.
She's not. She's an American girly. She's been a YouTuber, blogger for a long time, but she's a girl's girl, man. She shares a story of coming up. She wanted to be a nurse, and then she actually gave content creation, you know, her full energy. Okay. And over the past year, she's been named 30 under 30. She's been part of the Forbes women lineup. She just, she's...
Would that be the ideal thing for you, Jamie? Is that like something that you just put like your all into content creation and just like live on my For You page?
I don't know. There's a part of me that loves that side, the creative side to the digital space, but then I also see the negative sides of sharing your life online and, you know, really exposing your family life, because that's what she does. She really takes you into her life. So I don't know if I'd have that level of it. I do, but I also control it, and I think maybe if it was a controlled approach, I definitely would want to tap into the space more. For me, when it comes to digital, I always need to be true to myself, and I must always feel like I'm enjoying what I do. The moment it becomes unenjoyable and I don't feel like I can relate or resonate with whatever I'm putting out online, that's when I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. But for the most part, I still enjoy what I do in the digital space. So I don't think I'll giving up that anytime soon. But I do want to grow in the space. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And you have no plans to
grow
to tap into
the digital
footprint?
I mean, first of all, I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do it like you do. You know what I mean? Like, I think like some people are just gifted in like, you know, in the TikToks and stuff like that. You know, I just grew up like in a different time, and like sometimes I put the phone and I'm like, I'm gonna do a get ready with me, and then it just feels weird.
You But you're going to get used to it. I'm sure radio
Yeah.
felt different for you in the beginning as well. It wasn't something that...
Radio felt great because that's what I think I was born to do. You know what I mean? You know, like sometimes when I'm at home, I'm like, you know, because like a lot of people say, Lunga, you know, like you're so stylish, blah blah blah, whatever. You should do like you one of the people.
I'm
actually.
always
Like,
hyping you up.
Get ready, do get readies with me, you know, like in the morning. You know what I mean?
Or just find your niche on, like, you do fashion so well. All I'm saying is tap into the digital space. There's nothing wrong with broadening. I love radio too. You love radio way more than I do, definitely.
Yeah, I don't say that.
No, you do.
The people are watching.
We are running out of time. Head back on to our social media. Check it out. It's a brand new podcast, a brand new episode of The Tea with Jamie-Lee. We had Lunga Singama. Let us know what is your top story.
Brand new episode
Brand new
of The Tea
episode.
with Jamie-Lee Domberg.
You're annoying.
Season 1, it's a wrap. Catch you on season 2.